All right, Andrew, go ahead first for Mondo.
Armando, I was right down there in the baseline, and that was a very physical game before it got crazy at the end. What did you guys have in you to be able to pull that thing out, given the way it went late in the second half and throughout overtime?
I mean, just staying together. I mean, it was a stretch around the 10, like maybe 8 to 6 minute mark where me and Kayla, we made some plays that we usually don't make. And I mean, that was a time where usually in the past we would tuck our heads and it's like we were down like four. Dre Davis was making a bunch of huge shots, and it was a time where usually we would just tuck up and not fight. But I mean, today we said, hey, we got to fight and we just got to keep going. And I mean, that's what we did, and that's the outcome, and we happy with it.
And what happened on that play that resulted in the technical on Withers in there in overtime?
Yeah, Withers actually, I got a good relationship with him. He's from North Carolina. We play AAU with each other. I mean, he gave me a little push, but I mean, yeah, I ain't mad at him. We talked after the game. It's all good. I mean, it was a physical game. I'm cerebral trying to get bored, so I know a lot of the times I may, nick somebody up on the accident, but that's just how they responded, and we got the technical in. I mean, it was a huge change in the game, and I'll take it.
Thank you.
Josh Graham, go ahead.
Armando, I saw a bit of a smile there. Were you surprised you got the call?
No, I mean, cause he fully extended. It was a two-hand push, so I mean, I'm not surprised about it. I didn't know like what would happen, but I mean, I'll take it.
CL.
Armando, was this the most physical game you've played in so far this season? It seems like normally it's like bigger guys, 7-footers that you kind of have to tangle with, but it seemed like Sydney was just like strong.
Yeah, no, he was pretty strong. Got big shoulders, so I mean, it definitely was a physical game. I'd say it was the second most physical. Kentucky, that was a real physical game. But other than that, I would say definitely. I mean, he did a great job. He got a good story coming from JUCO. He a good player. I got a lot of respect for him, man. He definitely pushed me today.
Dina King.
Hey, Armando, you guys have struggled on the road, but how great does it feel to get that big road win, a gutsy performance for you guys?
I mean, it was great. We needed it. I mean, Louisville, as y'all can see, I mean, it was a crazy atmosphere. I mean, it was probably one of the most intense games I ever played in, especially towards the end. And just for us to stay together going down four, and they went on a huge run, and then us almost not winning in the regulation and then coming back and winning in overtime, man, it was huge. And we definitely grew a lot as a team today.
Adam.
Armando, that's what I was going to ask you about, being able to sort of break through on the road. Is it a relief in some ways to, not have to deal with another one of these debacles away from home? Like, is it a sense of relief, or what? How would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a sense of relief. I mean, I know it's tough for y'all and the fans. I mean, we stress y'all out. I know the fans' blood pressure was going crazy. So just us finally getting this road win and just having something to build on, especially for Saturday, was great.
Thank you.
Michael Coe, go ahead.
Hey, Armando, what was the mood like in the huddle between the end of the second half and overtime? Because it was y'all let the lead slip away. Louisville is getting back into it. They've got the momentum. What was the mood like in that huddle between Coach and y'all?
Yeah, I mean, Coach, he just told us, if you would have told me 2 days ago if we was down by 2 with a minute left, I mean, he would have taken it. And I mean, that's just kind of the attitude we had. I mean, they're kind of like a wounded animal, and when you're a wounded animal, they're one of the most dangerous animals in the kingdom, and they just got a lot of fight in them. So that's just kind of the mentality they had today, and we knew they lost their coach, one of their best players, and we knew they'd be ready to fight, so we just had to go out there and just execute in the end and just stay with each other, because if not, we would have lost that end.
Thank you.
All right, last two, Andrew and then Adam, and then we'll get Brady in here momentarily.
Armando, I also want to ask you about the fact that not just getting a road win, but you guys were up 10, and it looked like you kind of were getting close to having them on the ropes. Their body language wasn't great. And then, boom, they hit you guys with a big run, but you were able to respond. Is that a sign of growth of this team, that you're able to respond, not just on the road, but in that situation there?
Definitely, I mean, especially when, they were hot from three, and that's kind of one of the things on the road that we struggle with, and us just, kind of turning that water off in the end from the three-point line and kind of slowing down Ellis a little bit, it helped us. And, I'm just so proud of everybody. I'm proud of how Caleb responded in overtime. And helped us get this win and not get discouraged about what happened at the end. Brady was great. Leaky was huge for us tonight. And, I mean, just his growth over these last few months has just been great. And the way he's been playing is helping us.
Thank you.
All right, Adam, last one for Armando.
Armando, you mentioned Caleb. That's where I was going. The Caleb Love experience tonight. I mean, it was a roller coaster. Like, you know, what did you see from him? You guys went to him the first play out of overtime. He's swishing a three. Like, did you talk to him to try to tell him to stay in it? You know, like what was just the night like for him from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, he had his head down, but I'm like, hey, it's a new game. We had 5 minutes to win the game. And I mean, honestly, the play wasn't even for him, but I mean, just for him to just have the confidence to just, you know, throw up that bomb and make it, it was just great. And I think that kind of gave him a spark in the overtime to just keep going. And I mean, that showed a lot of maturity.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mondo. All right, everybody sit tight. We'll get Brady in here in a few minutes, I believe.
Here's Brady.
He's here now. You can raise your hands for Brady. All right, Michael, go ahead.
Hey, Brady, you played in more college basketball games than probably anyone on this team. Have you ever played in a game that's been quite like this with all the ups and downs and the crazy things that happened in the overtime?
You know, this is definitely one of the craziest ones I've been in for sure. You know, just with the crowd, the emotions in the game, the back and forth of the scoring the ball, and you know, it was a intense game, but it was a fun game, and we came out with a win. But I mean, you can't describe the atmosphere that was here about 25 minutes ago. It was unbelievable. Heck of a crowd, heck of an environment. It was really fun.
Thank you.
Ryan Heller.
Hey Brady. During the last road game in Winston-Salem, you guys kind of got beat bad on the second half of the game. I was wondering, how did you guys respond in the second half to kind of keep the game close and eventually come out ahead on overtime?
Yeah, you know, when we lost that lead, it was one of those other games that we were in. We may have folded and rolled over. I mean, we just kept playing hard. Down the stretch, we're making smart plays, doing our best on defense. We had some good stops late. You know, some of the silly plays, those are correctable, those are fixable, and you know, it was so much fun tonight. I'm just glad that when they turned it back on us, that we hit them back and broke open the game in overtime. It was a lot of fun. A great game to be a part of.
Andrew.
Brady, I was sitting on the baseline on the side of the court where you guys were, and I got hit with some stuff when they started throwing things. Did you get hit by anything, or did you see any teammates get hit by anything from the stands?
Nah, you know, they were throwing stuff, but hey, that's this kind of place, this kind of environment. I just know that's when you know the game's intense, the game's been fun. You know, it was awesome. I can't describe that kind of basketball. That doesn't happen very often, and you know, I'm just happy the way everything turned out for us.
You mentioned them hitting you a few minutes ago, that run that they went on after you guys were up 10, but you guys were able to respond and gutted this thing out. What does that say about you guys being able to do that on the road in this insane environment?
You know, it just shows that we are tough. Everybody calls us soft. Everybody tells us on the road we can't win road games. You know, it's just social media for you. That's just audience. That's just people. But tonight we flipped the switch and we hit them back, and just can't be more proud of these guys and proud of this team. And it was an awesome game.
Thank you.
CL Brown.
Brady, how much did you guys kind of need a game like this to prove you hadn't played in any one possession kind of games really? And how much did this kind of answer any questions you may have had on how you guys can keep composure and how you guys can finish out a game?
Yeah, you know, that's very true. I mean, we're either winning games by 20 or we're losing by 20. Tonight just showed the toughness of the guys, and I mean, it shows us a close game, and you know, we came out on top. We showed a little bit of heart there, and it was awesome to see. So such a good game to be a part of. I can't say that enough. It was awesome. yeah, just being able to show that we can do this, we can fight back, and we can win on the road. I mean, we've had our share of bad games, but tonight was a really good one.
We got two more, and then we're going to bring Leaky in. Isaiah, and then Josh Graham, and then we'll bring in Leaky. Go ahead, Isaiah.
Hey, Brady, could you kind of just talk about how you, Leaky, and Armando had combined to kind of slow Ellis down as the game went on down the stretch?
I mean, I wouldn't say slowing down is the term. He still had 25, but we did our best to pressure him, to force off balance shots, bad shots. Just everybody just trying to play defense. We had a couple late game shots there. He had missed layups, and we got the rebounds or block shots. It was back and forth the whole night, and it was just a really good game, and I think our defense really stepped up there in overtime.
All right, Josh, last one for Brady. Go ahead.
Thank you, Matt. Going back to composure, when you kind of have that frenetic finish to regulation and it goes to OT, and Louisville had that run in regulation, and you guys break out of that and bounce back, was there anything that Hubert said or that any of the guys said that resonated in that spot?
It was hectic. It was all over the place. Crowd was yelling. Emotions were high. Just trying to stay composed. The other team, they lost a little bit of composure every now and then, and we got a couple calls and knocked down free throws and won the game. But late game like that at their place with the crowd, I mean, you gotta really lock in and play hard and play your best.
Thank you, Brady. Appreciate it. All right, everybody, we've got Leaky ready to go. You can raise hands with questions for him. And we'll have Coach Davis and Caleb after Leaky. All right, CL, go ahead. CL Brown.
Leaky, it's just a matter of confidence, like with these threes you're shooting now. And can you take me through the three you hit in overtime to give you guys the lead for good?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a matter of confidence. Playing on this level, I feel like everybody's a good ball player. It's just the guys who stand out have the most confidence. And once you've been at the bottom of the bottom like I have, with media and all that stuff, is only way is up, man. You can't play any worse than. Yeah, I've been low sometimes, but these last few games, I'm just trying to stay confident.
Andrew Jones.
Leaky, what did you learn about your team from after you guys were up 10? I think they went on a 12-0 run, but you guys were still able to gut this thing out in a crazy environment tonight. What did you learn?
I learned that really we was just telling each other in the huddle that, like, as bad as we were playing those whatever many minutes, we were just down by like a couple points, or I think I remember what period you were talking about. We were either down or like up by 2 still. And I was just like, everyone just keep your composure. Like, we're playing bad, but still up, So just settle down, fix it. It's a hard place to play, and we knew it was gonna be a battle. I'm just glad we gutted that one out.
Was this the most physical game you played in? Or if you combine the physicality of the game and just kind of the craziness of the fans with the throwing stuff on the floor and all the energy in the building?
Absolutely. It was wild. It was wild in there. Absolutely. I loved it, though. Yeah, we all loved it. That was a great win.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Adam Smith.
Leaky, I mean, talking about confidence, you had the dribble pull-up in the first half. I was almost shocked that you took the thing and it went in. Yeah, that was a confident move. What have you been telling yourself? Like, where have you made the change, do you think? I mean, has this been a conversation with yourself? Has it been a conversation with someone else? Where have you made the adjustment, do you think?
Before every game, my guy Jackie Manuel, he prays with me. I have really bad anxiety, and I never really knew that until like this last summer, what it was. Until this last summer, I was like, oh, that's anxiety that I was feeling. So he said he's seen himself in me, and he went through the same thing, and every day he's just been like, just praying with me and getting me to relax, meditation, stuff like that, and it's really been helping a lot.
Did a doctor tell you that with the anxiety thing?
Yeah, therapist. I was like explaining it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, that's anxiety." I was like, "Wow, like all these years, that's really what it's been." But I never knew it, and of lately I've been being able to control it. So
Thanks for sharing that.
yes, sir.
Isaiah, go ahead.
Could you just kind of talk about stepping up and being a leader? Because I noticed out there on the court, a guy will make a turnover or miss a shot, and you're usually the first one there to kind of greet him and tell him that it wasn't really that big a deal, just to lock in, come
Right.
back harder the next play.
Right. It's a long game, man. It's a lot of ups and downs. We knew it was going to be tough. It's not going to be a perfect game. You know, even our best game wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? So it's going to be turnovers. It's going to be mistakes. It's basketball. That's the way the game goes. And you just got to, like I said, it's the confidence, keeping everybody's confidence, the next play mentality kind of thing, and just learning from the mistake. You know, that's what took us to the promised land today.
Okay, Dina, go ahead. Last one for Leaky.
Hey, Leaky, would you consider this one of your better performances? 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, perfect from the field.
Shooting wise, yeah, I feel like shooting wise, absolutely. I don't think I ever went 100% before, but yeah, on the defensive end, I made some mistakes as well. Yeah, but shooting wise, offensively, I feel like it was one of my better games, and defensively, I got to pick that one up.
Thank you, Leaky.
Thank you.
All right, everybody sit tight. We're going to, in some order, we'll have Coach Davis and Caleb to be determined. So sit tight here. Okay, everybody. Michael Coe, go ahead first for Coach Davis, please.
Hey, Coach, what was the mood and the attitude like in the huddle between the end of regulation and the beginning of overtime? Because that seemed like a time of the game where the team easily could have, completely collapsed, but they didn't, and instead came back and took the lead.
No, it was really good. It was really positive. One of the things that we've talked about, and specifically that we talked about today, was about our togetherness, and that there are going to be ups and downs throughout the game, and our energy and our effort and our attention to detail and our will and our want to has to be done together. And so in that huddle in between regulation and overtime, we just talked about our togetherness, and that we're in a situation that if we just get stops, we execute on the defensive end, and then offensively take care of the basketball and get the shots that we want, we felt very comfortable about going into overtime. And I told them, I said, guys, would you take being in overtime on the road in the ACC? I said, I'd take it. And so just to lighten the mood and get the guys to understand this is a fun experience, and this is an experience to be enjoyed, not to be feared, not to be nervous, not to be scared, but to enjoy.
Thank you.
CL Brown.
Hubert, what to you was the difference in the composure that the guys showed from previous road games, where if you would have, squandered a 10-point lead, the game kind of would have got away at that point. Like they may have just hung their heads and it would have gone the other way. But what to you did you see that was the difference in that?
Well, the difference was that was something different than what has happened in the past. And you're exactly right. In the past, when things haven't gone well for us, we couldn't do two things. One, we couldn't change it, and we couldn't stop it. Tonight, we changed it and we stopped it. And so whether it was, losing a 10-point lead or turning the ball over, not playing well on this defensive possession, missing a shot here, we were able to change, and we were able to stop it in this game. And I just thought that was the big factor for us. My hope is that's our growth in being able to change and to stop when things don't go well, and put ourselves in a position to make positive plays on both ends of the floor. I thought that was the key. We did. There were times where we really messed up, but it didn't bleed to the next possession. We just moved on to the next possession. One of the things I kept saying in the huddle: next shot, next possession, next play. Next shot, next possession, next play. Okay, so that pass is over with. Let's move forward and focus on what we have to do now. And I thought the guys did a really good job of that.
Caitlin Schmidt, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, could you just talk a little bit about the action that you saw behind the arc from Louisville, which is a team that's ranked 10 spaces behind you guys in the ACC for 3-point conversions, and especially from Ellis?
Well, I mean, they've got a number of guys that can shoot the ball from 3-point range, and coming into the season, that was something that they felt like was their strength. And for whatever reason, as a team, statistically, they haven't shot the ball well. We knew that that they've got some guys when left open that Streaky can get hot from three. I really felt like the threes that they got the most were in transition. And one of the things that I talked to the team at halftime is like I thought our transition defense wasn't very good. Louisville historically, they get their points, a lot of their points in two places. One off of turnovers, and number two in transition. All of their guys have the green light to be able to shoot from three in transition. And so I was telling them, when we sprint back, if you sprint back to the basket, to the paint, your man is sitting out there from three. He's not going to be there. We have to find open shooters, and at times we just didn't do that very well. And when they were open, they were able to hit open threes, and they did a really good job of it.
Greg Barnes, go ahead.
Hey, Hubert, you've not had many of these games that have come down kind of to the wire, where you have the ball with 30 seconds left with a chance to win. Kind of a two-part question. One, in terms of the atmosphere being as intense as it was, do you have to address that with the players and make sure they stay calm? And then also, could you walk us through that final play of regulation?
Well, yeah, in that situation, I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on, and there was stuff that was going on in the stands. And one of the things that I actually yelled at the guys is the action is here. I don't care what's going on in the stands. The action is us. It's on the floor. So our attention to detail, our focus, 100% has to be on us. Whatever happens in the stands happens in the stands. And so those are conversations that we had. I really think, one of the things that I said to the staff as soon as I walked into the locker room, I can't wait to watch this game. It's a great learning experience for our guys, things that we did well that, moving forward, we're in this situation, we got to continue to do. And there were some things that we cannot do and that we have to stay away from forever in late clock situations. And I really felt like it's a good learning experience for me just to look at it and become a better coach. One of the things that we did the last shot of regulation is we wanted to get a ball screen action and wanted to give piston action where we had Armando rolling and we had Brady popping for a three. A lot of times that's confusion because you don't know if you should stay on the roll, and then now Brady's wide open on the three. I thought that RJ made a really good play. He was very aggressive, and I told him if he doesn't have the layup, who's going to be open is going to be either Armando or Brady back open for three. But if you have a layup, take it strong, be aggressive. He took it strong. I thought he was going to make the layup and win. And Withers made an unbelievable play. I don't know where he came from to his athleticism and want to be able to block that shot and send it into overtime. That was absolutely fantastic. It was a great play.
Thank you.
All right, we got time for two more with Coach Davis, Andrew, and then Adam, and then we'll get Caleb in here. Thank you.
Coach, did you guys grow a coat of armor tonight? And having gone through this and sort of come out on the other end ahead, is this the kind of thing that can really kind of elevate the confidence across the board, maybe more than what they had certainly this time a week ago?
Well, I think, I think being in these situations and being successful in these situations are a great learning experience for our guys. For a lot of them, they've never been in this situation before, especially on the road. And so to be able to be in these moments and be able to execute on both ends of the floor and to experience success, I think it's a great learning experience for our guys. But I think we've learned a lot. I'm just going to say this, like the last week and a half, I'm just so proud of them. coming back after losing to Miami and Wake Forest and the manner in which we lost, and to say in a week and a half, in 8 days, we've won 4 games against 4 unbelievable quality opponents in conference, like that's pretty good. And so to come back, the perseverance, to stick to it, to get back to work, and for a week and a half to actually change what happened during that week with Wake Forest and Miami, and those 2 are unbelievable teams. Just really proud of the guys. CL asked the question, the biggest thing for us is, our ability to stop it and to change. And so after those 2 losses, to stop it and to change for the next 4 games, I just think that's really good. And 100% of the, praise and compliments go to all of the players.
Thank you.
All right, Adam, last one, and we'll get Caleb.
Hubert, I have to think that Leaky has come to embody some of the composure that you saw tonight just from your entire group. I mean, would you agree with that? And I mean, he seems to be proving invaluable in a lot of different ways. The confidence to take and make these shots. Just what can you say about him? And I mean, maybe I feel like the composure he's been giving you guys.
He has. He's our most experienced player here at North Carolina. Obviously, Brady has more experience, but in terms of the most experience here in a North Carolina uniform, that's Leaky. One of the things that he talked about in shoot-around, as soon as we walked into the gym, he remembered when we came back here his freshman year, Louisville they have absolutely destroyed us at home. And then we came back, it was a good Louisville team. And we played so well on the road, and he talked about the environment and how tough you have to be in order to be successful in these situations. And he's just been our sounding board. He doesn't say a lot, but the way that he carries himself just calms RJ and Caleb down, even Armando and Brady. He's just a calming presence out there on the floor and then in the huddle. And, I'm just so proud of Leaky. He's having a fantastic season. And, tonight to go perfect from the field, knock down 3 threes. Everybody that was hot on the perimeter, and we switched him off. I told him the other day, I'm trying to find a way to divide him into 3 so I can put him on 3 perimeter players so that I can feel more comfortable on the defensive end. But he's just, I can't say more about him. I'm just really, really proud of him.
Thank you, Hubert.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Coach. All right, we've got Caleb here. Just a few questions so we can head home, everybody. So let's try to be quick, please. All right, Michael, go ahead.
Hey, Caleb. So Armando and Brady both talked about the Louisville crowd as just being unbelievable tonight. You said, I believe it was after the Charleston game, that you love those really hostile and jacked up road environments. Did you get that same feeling tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Those type of crowds kind of lift our play up, and we kind of had our backs on the wall at a certain point in time, and then we just had to come together as a team and win that game.
Thank you.
Davis Wallace.
Hey, Caleb, when your shot isn't falling, do you feel like you should be more aggressive with facilitating or keep shooting in regards to that?
Well, I feel like when my shot not falling, just either get downhill and get some layups and get fouled, or obviously get my teammates open. And starting the half, the second half, that's what I did. And shot, it's gonna be games like that, and I'm kind of got to get out that slump. But I made big plays down the stretch and helped my team win.
Thanks.
CL Brown.
Yeah, Caleb, I was just going to ask, after struggling in regulation, you made the first 3 to start overtime. What even, and Armando said the play wasn't even necessarily for you in that situation. What made you still have the confidence to take that shot?
My teammates, they was just telling me stay in it and shoot the shots that you know you can make, and that's exactly what I did on that play. My defender was kind of off of me, and I seen the open hand down, man down. That's what go by, and I shot the shot and I made it.
All right, Andrew, and then Adam, and then we'll let the team fly home. Go ahead, Andrew. Andrew, you're muted.
My bad, guys. Caleb, at the end of regulation, when you had that possession where they got the steal from you, it looked like you guys kind of didn't really know what to do in that situation. It looked like Leaky had a word with you afterward. What did he say to you to kind of calm you and infuse you with a little bit of confidence to go back out there for overtime?
He just said, stay with it. Next play, have a short memory. I love Leaky, and I love him as a teammate and as a person because he always lifted me up. And without him, I don't know if I would have stayed in that game. And mentally, I was kind of out of it, but he kept me in it, and I appreciate him for that.
Thank you.
All right, Adam, go ahead. Last one.
Caleb, along those lines, at the end of regulation, where Ellis had like the sneak attack from behind and got the steal, was anybody warning you? I guess it would have been too late. You certainly didn't see him coming, I guess. Can you maybe take us through that play? And I know you weren't expecting him to get you from behind like that.
Well, yeah, I obviously didn't. I didn't see him, but we was trying to run the clock out, and I didn't want to go in there and go in and shoot a shot that over a big man, and I just dribbled it out, and I didn't see the man, so he came and got me.
How do you try to fight through the frustration when the shots aren't going in and things like that are happening? You don't want it to happen. Like how do you try to do that so that you can get out of here with a win and not feel bad about the loss? What's that like?
Just doing other things on the floor, playing defense, getting my teammates shots, and it's a game still to be played, and it's not just about me making shots. So when my shot not falling, then I gotta play for my teammates and play to win.
Thank you,
Matt. We got to roll.
Thank you, Caleb. Thanks,